Hello and welcome back to the jazz lessons that I'm doing. Here we go, we got jazz. Today we're doing a simple quiz. We're doing the added chord quiz. Simply add notes to chords that you already know. We looked at this last time on how to make them, so now it's just quiz yourself. The added chord quiz. You can pause the video now and see how many of these you can do. If you don't like the clefs, that's totally okay. You can't see my arrows, but if you don't like the clefs, that's totally okay. Just ignore the clefs. Use your favorite clef. If treble clef is your favorite, you can use treble. If you're a bass player or you use cello or you play something with the bass clef, you can use whatever makes you happy. The notes are the only thing that matters. So the question is, what notes go in each of these chords? So again, pause the video, give yourself a shot at this. Otherwise, here we go. We're going to do them together. Okay, so this is C major add 9. Now, with the added chords, we learned last time that we don't really put a 7th, because otherwise it would just be C major 9, right? That would have the C, the E, the G, all that stuff. The B, because it's major, so C major 7. And then you add the 9, which would be the D. So that would be it. Now, with the C major add 9, you simply put your C, you put your E, your G, and then that's C major. Check. Now we're going to add 9 to that. Our 9 is a D. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So you just put the 9 in there, and you're done. You could also technically do this. That would be fine. You put the D down here instead. That's fine. Whatever makes you happy. I kind of like this because it makes it sound like a 9th. This looks like it might just be a suspension. But I think the 9th should go on top. But, you know, do what you want. We got E minor, add 6. We got E minor, add 6. So all you have to do is put E minor, add 6. Our 6 is there. 1, 3, 5, and there. E minor is naturally like this. That's fine. In the key of E, here's the rub. Here's the rub. Do we put A sharp on the C? And I believe the answer is yes. Because in E major, you would have E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, I'm missing a sharp there, and I'm missing the C sharp, and then you got the D sharp as well, and you got E. So you just make this minor, you get rid of the G sharp, you make E, G, B, and then you put the 6, which would be the C, there we go. You put the 6, which would be the C, and you keep it in the chord. I think that would be fine. So this is E minor, add 6, which would sound like this. Pretty. Versus E minor, add flat 6. Which is also pretty. That's just a C major first inversion, C major 7 first inversion. Anyway, I missed out on our C add 9 chord, so we got this. There it is. Almost Close to You by the Carpenters. Yeah, almost. I think that's pretty close. We got B minor, flat 5. B minor, flat 5. This is a really fancy kind of big way. I would really, really love this, but I'm classically trained, you know. I like my classical notation. This is the same thing in classical, but you gotta write all this for a little dot. I don't know. Oh, well. Jazz is jazz. Here we go. We got B flat minor. Looks like this. If you don't know how to make these, you gotta go back and review stuff. And then that's B flat minor. We flat the 5, and then we simply add 4. We add the 4. Now, this looks like a 4 to me. This is also the same if you look down here. This is the same as an 11, because the 11 would be all the way up here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 would be there. So that's kind of the same thing. I would put it here, but you know, again, whatever makes you happy. Both are okay. You got your B. You got your B flat minor flat 5. Then you add the 4 in there. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I hope you caught my mistake. I hope you're yelling at your screen. In the key of B flat, we of course have E flat, so this should be a flatted E over here. That's fine. And this should also be flatted if you're using that one instead. And then it works, right? That's what I played. I thought that sounded a little funny. Cool. D add 9, we got a D major. Now, this we got to talk about a little bit, because what's the difference between D, what would be the difference between this and this? Can you see all that? Yeah, good. What's the difference between these two? And the answer is, well, the C, because I'm a dummy. Okay, there we go. Now what's the difference? Nothing. By default, this is a major chord. You don't need to put this, but you could. When you put D7 and D major 7, these matter. This is when it matters. But for the normal chord qualities, it doesn't matter. By default, it's default. By default, it's major, I mean. So D add 9 or D major add 9. All you have to do is write D major, and then you add your 9. 1, 3, 5. 7 is your C sharp, and your 9 is E. Just like that. I just want to play it close to you. Okay. We got A flat, whatever this is. Let me change my color because I'm getting bored of blue. We got A flat minor, add 6. A flat minor, add 6. If we draw our A flat minor, A to make A minor, you make everything the same. So A flat minor is everything's the same. Add flat, A flat minor, add 6. Add 6 in the key of A flat. We do have a natural F. F natural. So that would be that one. Is that right? Yeah, C flat, right? Oh, I need another hand. Just like that. We got F add not flat 9. So here's where it gets interesting. You can still flat these things. You can still sharp these things. Why not? Go crazy. Do what you want. I'm erasing too much. I'm going too crazy. Here we go. We got F add 9. F major. Because by default, there is a major in here. Whee, like that. Now I'll just write it. Why not? F major add flat 9. And then we got our flat 9 in here. 1, 3, 5. 7 is here. 9 is here. And we put a flat on it. In the key of F major, we have B flat. We're done. That's it. G sharp major, add sharp 11. I went crazy with these things. G sharp major. To make G major, all you have to add is make them all the same. So G sharp major is all the same. Add sharp 11. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 is your C all the way up here. Your C in the key of G sharp is already sharped. So we're going to sharp it again. Sharp plus a sharp equals a, say it with me, double sharp. Double sharp. Whee! Just like that. Just like that. Could it be any simpler? I don't know if I can play this in the span here. And I need a C double sharp. So I wonder, I could cheat, but it might not sound good. Oh, I went the wrong way. One more try. One more try as I try to make this work here. No, yeah. Something about like that. That's cool. Good. Okay, at A add 2, A major add 2. A major simply looks like this in bass clef. A major add 2. Similar to add 9. Add 9 might be up here though, with the D all the way up here. That would be your add 9. But this could be your add 2. I can play the add 2 chord very simply, I think even with one hand here. Gorgeous, except it's supposed to be like 2 octaves lower. Yeah, there, right? Yep, add 2 chords are pretty. It's like, I want major, but I want a little bit more. I want it to be a little nicer. I want to be a little prettier. Totally fine. You got G, add 4. Let's go with a green color. Here we go. G, add 4. G major, add 4. So our G looks like that in alto clef. In viola clef, if you will, add 4 simply looks like that. Super easy. No sharps or flats needed. You have B major, add 13. B major. Oh, okay, I'm in bass mode. There we go. There's a B. B, D, F. We're going to make it major, so we need B, D sharp, F sharp. We got add 13. Add 13 is going to be 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, a 9. That's a 9. And a 13 lives on top of... No, that's an 11. Okay, we're gonna run out of room. We'll write tiny. There we go. So this is 7, 9, 11. 13 lives there. And let's see. That it would be... I need to double check here. This is going to be G, B, D, F. That's a G up here. Is that right? G. Yeah, that's right. G. In the key of B, we have a G sharp. We do have a G sharp. Fat cats go down alleys has the fat cats go. So there's a G sharp in there. And there's no way I'm going to play this on the keyboard, but I can substitute and put this all the way down. What? Oh, I'm thinking it's bass clef. I was like, why is there another G? I can put it right here. I'll put it right there. Those are the same, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Here we go. and this kind of stuff, instead of just B major 13, right? Like, this is kind of the sound you want anyway. But remember, we talked about B major 13. It has 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, right? It has 7 notes in it. But sometimes you don't have that many fingers. You don't have that many players. You don't have that many singers if you want to make harmonies. So how do you get around it? You simplify. You only use these 4 notes. It's still kind of the sound you want. It's good enough. It fits with the voice leading maybe. Fits in the context. It's fine. It's enough. But you need to label it as such so the people that are trying to figure out your music understand what you're doing, right? Don't just put B major 13 and say, well, I don't have all the pieces. It's like if you go to a restaurant, it's like, well, I want a burrito with guacamole, right? And you order it, and it comes, and you don't get your guacamole, and you're like, "Where's my guac?" And they say, "Sorry, we don't have that today. Sorry, we don't have these notes today." And you're like, "Well, I ordered guacamole. Where is it?" And they're like, "Well, we don't have it." And you're like, "Can I get my money back?" They're like, "No, we already made your food." It doesn't make any sense, right? So when you label this as such, make sure your customer knows you're not putting guacamole in your chord. Make sure that people know what you're up to. Make sure it's an add 13 and not a 13. Don't confuse these. I mean, they're similar that you could probably substitute very simply. Just like you could substitute your burrito and guacamole with just a burrito. But label it correctly. That's the whole point, is the accuracy, is to get accurate with this. Okay, we got 2 more, and then we're home free. D minor, add flat 6. D, I'm going to use, let's see, I'll use the one down here. D, F, and A, we got an add 6, simply like that. Add flat 6, we got D minor, it's already minor, that's fine. Looks okay to me. Add 6, that's going to be a C, yeah, in the key of D, almost. In the key of D major, C, that is a C. Where am I? That's not a, that's where I'm off. There we go. That's not, if you're yelling at your screen, I appreciate it. See, I was testing you. All a trick. It was all a trick. There's D, F, A, and then the 6 is there. That's a D. I was in the wrong clef there for a second. Okay, so we got B. In the key of D major, we have F sharp, right? But we're making it D minor, so we got to flat that 3rd. Got D minor, that's fine. Add flat 6, now we're going to flat the 6. And that's the B flat, right? Right, so we got D, F, A, I think that's right. Yep. Again, some of these chords are beautiful, some of them are a little bit more dissonant, some of them are a little bit more aggressive, and some of them are just plain gorgeous. And it depends on the context, it depends on what you want to say. What adjective do you want to use to describe your story? Do you want to say it was a fun day that you had at the park, or was it a terrible day? Was it a frightening day? Right? That's it. That's what the flavor is. That's what the flavor is. It's still a day at the park. It's still a burrito, right? But how are you going to make it interesting? What flavors can you add to make your chord sound a little cooler? That's the whole point of this stuff. I mean, you could just say it's an E flat chord. Who cares? It's a D minor chord. Who cares? Not even minor, just a D chord. Okay? Your root's the same. It doesn't matter, right? But when you put this stuff in here, it makes it so much more interesting. It adds context. It adds texture. It adds a story to your music. It makes it so much more engaging. So much cooler. We got E, and I know where D is now, so E, I can do that there. E flat major, add 2. We're almost there, guys. E flat major looks like this. You flat your E flat and your B flat. So we got major, this is check, and we got add flat 2. All we're going to do is put an F here. We gotta flat it to make it flat 2. Yeah, and that's your chord there. Again, this one sounds like this. Right, because that would be 2. Yeah, okay. Again, this is probably not the most common of chords. A lot of this combination stuff, there are things that are more common than others. And as you analyze music, you will be able to figure out more and more common things. But the whole point of this exercise is, can you make really crazy stuff? Can you make stuff that doesn't sound good, that probably isn't going to be used that often? And can you make it into a chord? Can you make it make sense on paper? Whether you use it or not, if you can make this stuff, you're going to be able to make like this stuff that's really common. You're going to be able to do that in your sleep. And that's the cool part about this. Once you practice and you're like, yes, I understand this piece and this piece and this piece, and you just go through step by step by step how to make these chords, you'll be golden. And then you can make any chord you want, and you can talk jazz and you can say, yep, I understand this. You look at a jazz sheet and you're like, I know all these chords. Or if you don't, I know how to figure out all these chords. And then the more you play it and the more comfortable you get on your instrument playing those chords or playing the notes in those chords, then it becomes cake. And you wonder why, if you were beginning of the series and you were like, oh my god, when I see B flat major flat 9 or something, and you're like, how the heck does that work? What is this? What is this? Like, what does this do? How did you have a 9 and a B? When did math become with letters? Like, all this stuff. When you get to this point and you're in the journey right now where you are, you're like, no, I understand that. And then you go look at a jazz sheet like I was talking about. You go look at a jazz sheet and you're like, none of this confuses me anymore. I understand everything. Or maybe one chord is weird now instead of all of them. Or 10 chords before, now it's 1 or 2. Right? So baby steps to get you proficient in this whole language, in this concept. But that's where we're going to end today. I hope my pep talks were inspiring. I hope to see you guys next time, and happy music making. See ya.